Now I recognize Mr. Luetkemeyer from Missouri.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that the swap dollars that are, I guess, euros that are on the other end with the European Central Bank, they secure those, do they not, whenever they loan them back out on their other end? And would you agree that there is a problem from the standpoint that what we've been told and what we find recently is they're taking a little bit more exposure, a little more risk with some of the investments that they're taking as collateral for those? Would that be a fair statement?
They've broadened out the collateral eligibility, but they also have significant haircuts for that collateral. So they take more collateral than the value of the money that they're actually lending out.
So instead of 1-to-1, it may be 2-to-1 and they're taking additional collateral.
So they adjust for what they perceive the quality of the collateral.
Because I know that former executive board member Jurgen Stark recently said that the balance sheet of the ECBA is not only gigantic in dimension, but also alarming in its quality. Would you agree with that statement?
I don't have enough information to assess the quality of the ECB balance sheet, but my dealings with the ECB suggest that they're quite prudent in terms of how they run their operations.
Yeah, but aren't you one of the leading swap lines between, or leading experts on swaps between the U.S. and Europe?
But I do not conduct the daily operations of the ECB lending money to their banks versus collateral that they take.
Okay. One of the concerns that I have is with regards to the quality of the economies over there. You know, we keep talking about, well, they've dodged the bullet, they're getting better, they're improving. And yet we see, and we had, Secretary Geithner here just last week, and he acknowledged that the European continent as a whole is still struggling. I think the comment was made in testimony today that it's a negative position as far as the growth of the economy yet. Greece is probably 4% negative growth. It's fine to sit here and go through a workout and restructure your debt, but if you don't have the ability to repay it because you have an economy that can grow fast enough to repay it, where have you gone? I mean, I think we have to look at the revenue side. We may be able to restructure the debt so that it can work, but if you don't have enough cash flow, enough revenues coming in, we're still in trouble. Where do you see that going?
Well, I certainly accept your observation that the European economy is very weak, and that weakness is going to persist for a while as these governments engage in further fiscal actions to get their budget deficits on a sustainable course. But that fact, I think, in no way creates risk for us in terms of our swap agreements with the European Central Bank. We think we are very well secured in those transactions. We fully anticipate to be fully repaid. During the depths of the financial crisis in 2008 and 2009, far worse economic environment in which we are today, far greater amounts of swaps outstanding. We were fully repaid. We didn't lose a penny. In fact, the total profit to the U.S. taxpayer through the swaps that were engaged in during that period was about $4 billion of profit to the U.S. taxpayer.
Well, the point I'm getting to, though, is if you've got weak collateral for the European Central Bank swap lines, and their economy's not going anywhere, that even gets, to me, that makes that the debt or the collateral that's securing that line even weaker. And so therefore, well, we may have 2-to-1 or 3-to-1. If you got nothing supply, you got 2 or 3 times nothing, securing the debt. That's pretty concerning to me. Quick question for you. Do you think that the swap lines enhance the dollar as a world reserve currency, or do you think it hurts it? I'd like a comment from both of you, please.
I think it doesn't. I don't think it's a major factor, but I think at the margin it probably enhances the dollar as a reserve currency. In other words, the fact that the Federal Reserve is willing to engage in dollar swaps probably makes people more comfortable to use the dollars to finance international transactions around the world. I don't think this is a major factor, though, in terms of why we're engaging in swaps. Or should it be a major factor in terms of why we're engaging in swaps? I think the main reason why we're engaging in swaps is we don't want European banks to quickly exit their dollar lending business here in the U.S. and that exit causing harm to U.S. households and businesses.
Dr. Kamin.
If I could add to that, so clearly, key factors that are underpinning the dollar's status as a global reserve currency is the breadth and depth of U.S. financial markets, and including but not limited to the status of U.S. Treasuries. All that is underpinned by the vitality of the U.S. economy and its consistent record, of being able to innovate and grow. The purpose of the swap lines is ultimately focused on continuing to preserve the vitality of the American economy, and by making sure that foreign financial institutions have the funding they need to continue the flow of credit to American households and firms. So, insofar then as the swap lines kind of contribute to the continued vitality, the continued recovery of the U.S. economy, it undoubtedly is a plus as far as the dollar's reserve status. Although, as President Dudley has pointed out, it's probably one of many factors and not necessarily the most important.
Okay, thank you very much. I see my time's expired. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.